welcome to Fight Show. Today we are talking about UFC 259. Huge card coming up this weekend. Joining me today is my beautiful girlfriend, Nessa. Nessa has some thoughts and opinions, sitting in for T-Bone, who was otherwise engaged today. So before we get too deep into things, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Solidified, who provides the music for the show, and starting on this episode you're listening to right now is doing a little bit of audio mastering and just making it sound a little nicer. So shout out to Solidified. Check them out on Instagram, Soulitified, Solidified.
It's on Spotify too, isn't it?
Yes, he's also on Spotify. Check it out. So getting right into the card, first fight on the main card here is Thiago Santos versus Alexander Rocketch. Gonna be a pretty crazy fight. Thiago Santos was kind of one of the baddest men in the division for some time. Had double knee surgery, came back off a layoff. Most recently got submitted by Glover Teixeira. No shame in that. Glover is on a tear right now. So, he said, I think he said in an interview that he was just like a little tentative coming off the injury. So who knows if he's dealt with that or not. But let's see. He fought John Jones to a decision. So, that says something about him. Also, he provided Jan Blachowicz, who we're going to talk about later, with his most recent loss in 2019. It was a pretty interesting fight to watch. So I think we're going to get into a little bit more with the later fight, but I think there's some big things to look at in that fight that's going to help our decision for our main event here. But Thiago Santos, bad man. Great kicks, really diverse striking. Hits very, very hard. I think if he's resolved his confidence issues, we'll say, post-injury, I think that he's got a really good shot at this. That said, he has a pretty tough opponent in Alexander Rocketch. He is coming off of a decision win over Anthony Smith. I don't know how you feel about Lionheart, but I'm a fan. I think he's a bad man. I think anyone with a win over him should be pretty proud of that. He's got good head movement, really heavy leg kicks, good punches at range, and can't even read my own writing here today. Anyways, some good takedowns as well. And I think if he can implement those things, he's got a good shot at this. Thiago is not a young or inexperienced fighter. I think he's fought guys like this before. I think Rocketch has as much of a shot to win as anybody would in this position. But I'm gonna side with the veteran here, and I'm gonna say Thiago Santos is probably gonna come in with the win.
And I'm gonna say that Alec is gonna win. Mostly because he's 28 years old.
Siding with the youth.
And Thiago's 37, and I think that's going to... I think he's getting old.
I know, this is kind of the old man card, though. Are you going to say the same about Polish Power?
Maybe.
Oh. So, I don't know. We'll see. Double knee surgery is no small ordeal for anyone. He definitely is. He's getting up in his years, but I mean... I don't know. I think he's still got it. All right, our second fight is Islam Makhachev. I don't know. Anyways, basically, he's kind of like Khabib's prodigy in a way. Training partner. Some say they're, like brothers almost, very close. True Dober said he's kind of like a diet Khabib, I think is what he said. But he's a Dagestani fighter. He is World Combat Sambo champ. Nothing to shake a stick at, I guess. Mm-hmm. Sambo's serious. Mm-hmm. He's got that Dagestani style. He's got crazy wrestling, good takedown defense, good takedown offense. The fight with Arman Sarukian, they were back and forth the whole time. I thought that was pretty... it's pretty telling of where Sarukian stands. Makhachev was on, let's see, I think he's still on a 6-fight win streak, yeah. He has not fought since, I think, 2019. Yeah, September of 2019 was his last fight. So he's kind of been away from the game a little while. Supposedly, he was never going to fight Khabib. That was a thing. They said they would never do that. So Khabib retired, told him it's his time now. So he's supposed to be like the chosen one. We'll see. He actually lost his first fight in the UFC and has not lost since. He's definitely got... he's got all the tools. He could definitely do it. I don't think he's quite as calculated as Khabib. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. He's definitely going to be an interesting fighter to watch. Mm-hmm. This is a crazy stacked division.
Kind of like opposite like fighting styles for these two.
Yeah, so Dober definitely favors the striking. Drew Dober, first of all, I want to say, big fan. Originally from Nebraska. He fights out of Team Elevation now, and he's probably hoping to break Team Elevation's losing streak because they have struggled a little bit lately. Drew Dober has that same as everyone on Elevation, just never-ending gas tank. Mm-hmm. Hits like a truck. He's just a very compact guy.
It's 11 knockouts.
11 knockouts in his career. He's got crispy hands. He's a southpaw fighter. Really good boxing combinations. Really good composure. Even in like a firefight, shooting back and forth, he is composed. He picks his shots and he hits hard. So I think he's got as good a shot as anybody. So Drew Dober had kind of an up and down start to his career. I think 2017 was like a turning point, seemed like to me. He went on a 3-fight win streak, had a single loss, and then yet another 3-fight win streak since then. So he's definitely hoping to continue that trend, I'm guessing. Well, hopefully not the trend of losing after 3, but the trend of winning 3 in a row. Let's see. He does have really good wrestling. We'll see, because there's levels to that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. If he can keep up with Islam's wrestling is intense. Anyways, I am rooting for Drew Dober, but I'm picking Islam Makhachev for the win.
I said round 3 submission.
Round 3 submission for Islam?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Drew would like that, but, what are you going to do?
That's what I have.
There was some really funny stuff, too. I saw an interview about Drew Dober saying, Islam's fans have been sliding up in his DMs with death threats and all sorts of other things. He said he hoped that maybe U.S. fans would take note from that and pick up the intensity, stick with their fighters.
Return the favor.
Drew, I'm rooting for you, dude, but I'm not making any death threats on anybody, especially not any crazy Russians.
For sure.
So before we get into our third fight of the main card, here's a quick minute of a word about Anchor, our sponsor for the show. All right, thanks for sticking around. We are back and talking about Petr Yan and Aljamain Sterling. Okay, so this is gonna be a crazy fight. Mm-hmm. I basically researched this fight for last week's card because both of these fighters fought Jimmy Rivera and Pedro Munoz, who was a great fight last week. Petr Yan, current champ. This is like he's just one of those guys. He's got
a title fight.
It is a title fight. That's true. Bantamweight title fight. Yeah.
I didn't write that down.
Well, anyways.
They're 135, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Petr Yan, he's pretty much fought. He came in and took out a lot of big names. Uriah Faber, Jose Aldo was who he won the belt from. Jimmy Rivera, John Dodson. The guy is just walking around with a brick for a right hand. And if that doesn't do anything for you, he's also very proficient at fighting switch. So he's been susceptible to leg kicks, but he seems to overcome it by just switching stance, no problem. Got a fresh leg waiting him back. He's got just crazy heavy hands, super tough, super durable. Just a gritty fighter and very precise with the hands. He picks his shots. He's patient. I wouldn't call him a knockout artist, but he's definitely got the power. Really, 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 really good combos. When he does let his hands loose, he's letting them loose. You rarely are gonna get a strike on him without a counter coming back. He's gonna land. You're gonna tag him. He's gonna tag you. And just a never-ending gas tank. I think in the fight with Jose Aldo, that was one of his biggest advantages, and he took some really serious punishment from Jose. There was a lot of, Jose was working really good legs, really good body. He was really trying to wear him down. He landed some hard shots up top. I think Jose set a personal record for most significant strikes landed in that fight, and Petirian just kind of took him and wore him down. And Jose is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I know many fighters are. I'd say Jose is an exceptional one. And Petirian...
submitted?
No, he did not get submitted. But he did get taken down and controlled on the ground pretty handily. So that's not something we take too lightly. Aljamain Sterling, on the other hand, coming off a five-fight win streak. So a big thing that stands out about Alja to me is he's very unorthodox, okay? He's kind of tall, I don't know about tall, but he's rangy for the division. He's kind of lanky.
He has more length.
Yeah, and he has this weird low stance, or he's kind of wide, throws kind of just strange strikes. Very diverse striker, also a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, but has kind of leaned into his striking game lately. He's been in some absolute battles. Again, like I said, Munoz, Rivera, submitted Corey Sandhagen. Corey Sandhagen's a pretty bad dude too. Let's see. I think a big key to this fight for him is going to be working those leg strikes, because even though
he switches
and he tolerates it well, there's no way around it. They'll suck. And they'll impair a fighter. I think Petirian's going to be throwing him too, and I think that Aljamain is going to be working. He's going to have to try and stay away from him. He's going to want to stay fast, light on his toes. He's going to be trying to move around him, and I think that's going to be tough for a 5-round fight against someone as tough as Petirian, to work that strategy of trying to just, go for volume, which seems to be Alja's style. He does have some really cool spinning attacks he busts out. I think that he uses them very well. It's not like he just throws them wild. He throws them when it's opportune. He's got some good elbows. He has great coaches. I don't have their names off the top of my head, but they're a show in themselves. So they believe in their fighter, stick with him, and I don't know. I think they're going to come in with a game plan. I think that Jan has more to lose, and
sure.
I don't know. It could be interesting, but I got to pick Petirian. I don't think that Alja's going to be able to go 5 rounds in the fashion that he would need to take out Petirian. And
I disagree. I want Sterling to win. I think he's going to. And I wrote down that he's even going to win by submission.
By submission?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I can see it. He's got the submissions. Petirian, not a lot of success been had in taking him to the ground and keeping him there. But I think if anyone can do it, Aljamain's on the list of the few that might have a chance. I think if he can get him to the ground and control him, I think that would be a huge, huge asset to him in this fight. I don't know that will even, I don't know. That could be an interesting strategy that I didn't think about. Maybe I'm just going to try and work the ground game. I think.
You said that he's kind of unpredictable, so I feel like it's something that can happen.
Absolutely. We're going to find out. Okay. Amanda Nunes and Megan Anderson. So, when I looked at the odds on this fight, Nunes was like a minus 1250 favorite.
Which is crazy.
It's ludicrous. So in some ways, it's understandable because most people would agree, she's probably the best female UFC fighter in history. She's a champion through and through. She never lets up. She prepares for each fight just as diligently as the last. I think the UFC is like running out of people to throw at her. I really do. I don't know why they haven't tried to push for another Valentina rematch. I think that was probably one of the few fighters that can like hang on that level. Valentina's amazing. But anyways, Nunes has not lost a fight since 2014. She just cleaned out the division. A lot of bad ladies in that division just got taken out by Amanda Nunes.
13 knockouts.
13 knockouts. She is a BJJ black belt, which people probably forget about sometimes because she's fallen in love with the hands and she's really good at it. She has probably some of the cleanest boxing in UFC period, men's or women's. She's just got really clean, fast, heavy hands. She picks her shots well. You're not going to see her out there throwing a lot of punches into the air or missing too terribly often. I don't know. I think that Megan Anderson has as much a shot as anyone at beating her. Mm-hmm. She's fairly new to the UFC. Mm-hmm. She's coming off 2 wins. I don't know that a 2-fight win streak is really like, hey, here's a title shot. Mm-hmm.
But like you said, they're running out of people.
They're running out of people. She does have like power in her hands. First of all, Megan Anderson, if you don't know, is 6 feet tall.
6 feet tall.
Which I think
Amanda's 5'8", I think.
Yeah, not short, but she's gonna look short next to Megan Anderson. I think Megan Anderson she does have really powerful hands. She's got long legs. I don't think Amanda Nunes is going to be... I don't know. You think Amanda Nunes can land a head kick on her? She does throw them. Nunes is known for the hands, but she can throw some head kicks.
Anderson's legs are very long. I was looking.
Crazy long. It's ludicrous. Like, her femur has got to be just crazy. Anyways. She's a Muay Thai fighter, kickboxer. She's got really good knees. She does well in the clinch. I think that, I don't know, it's really tough to say, but I think that Nunes is going to have the power advantage, and so clinch game is kind of where Megan might have an advantage against some, but I think that she's going to get muscled by Nunes if she tries to work the clinch. Again, Megan has kind of had trouble with grapplers in the past, and like we said, Nunes does have that BJJ black belt. Which she kind of just has to fall back on because she doesn't really take the fight to the ground very often. Yeah, she's become a striker, but so she definitely has that. She's got the ability.
So they might come in with a plan, and if something changes, she can just switch it up, take it to the ground.
Absolutely. I do think Nunes. I don't think she's going to be scared to stand with Megan, but I think that if she does get in trouble on the feet, I think she could likely be able to take her down or take her back, even from a standing position, kind of like we saw. I didn't take very good notes. Oh, who was I watching? Megan Anderson had her back taken. Anyways, it was her most recent loss.
Okay. Most recent losses.
So, I don't know. I got Nunes. I think you'd be hard-pressed to pick anyone else. I think it's a tough matchup for anyone against Amanda Nunes. I think that she'll likely retire a champion when she's tired of winning. Mm-hmm. She's just one of those fighters. She's gonna Habib it out. She's gonna win until she's done winning, and then she's gonna say bye. All right. This takes us to... excuse me. The main event, Israel Adesanya moving up from middleweight to light heavyweight to fight Jan Blachowicz. First of all, I want to say Polish power. I'm a big fan. He's fun to watch. He's an older guy. He's kind of hit his stride late in his career. I think that right now, Jan Blachowicz he's the best Jan he's ever been. I think the way he pieced up Dominic Reyes, a young, talented, powerful guy who fought John Jones to a questionable decision. I honestly think Dom won that fight. But, you know, I'm not a judge, I guess. To me, it looked like Reyes won that fight. I think Jones had overlooked him a little bit. And then for Jan to dismantle Dominic Reyes in such a convincing fashion, those body shots. I mean, Jan's hands are heavy. And again, he's got that black belt. A very legitimate one. He's got submissions in his past.
9 submissions.
9 submissions total in his past. Jan's a scary man. I think that he's definitely going to have the strength advantage. Izzy has 86% takedown defense. But he's never fought someone as big and strong as Jan. And not just big and strong.
Like quite a bit bigger.
But a very talented grappler. Izzy said don't be surprised if he weighs in at 196. The limit is 205.
205. And Adesanya is at 185, right?
Yeah, so he normally fights at 185. He's a middleweight. And I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. Izzy's trying to prove something here. He wants to show that technique, precision, skill defeats power. But the thing is that Jan also has technique, precision, and skill, and substantially more power. Don't get me wrong. Izzy's a bad man. He's a powerful athlete. But, man, it's kind of crazy to just yield a 25-pound weight advantage. Jan's probably going to be 220 when they step in the ring. In the octagon, it's going to be, I don't know. That said, I think Izzy's going to be really fast. I think he's going to be elusive. I think he's going to be like he always is. He's going to be hard to hit, and he's going to land a lot of strikes. I think Jan can take a lot of those strikes. Jan has only been stopped by strikes, in fact, one time in his career, and that was by Thiago Santos.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know. Izzy's game plan is to take people out with strikes. 15
knockouts.
Yeah.
20 wins.
9-0 in the UFC. Looking to make it 10 here. He's definitely a rare man. And not only did he take the title from Kelvin Gastelum, another very, very bad man, he defended it against 3 scary dudes, Whitaker, Romero, and Paulo Costa. Of course, though, Paulo Costa... Oh, yeah, he drank too much wine the night before, so that's why, months later, now he's coming out with these, I don't know, I guess excuses. I think he's just trying to goad the public into being convinced he's worthy of a rematch. I'd watch it again. I mean, I think it would go the same way. But, yeah, I'd watch it again. Sure. You bet, Paulo. So, Jan... one thing that I think Izzy's going to be looking at is in that fight against Thiago Santos, Thiago had a lot of success because he kept Jan at range. He threw a lot of diverse kick attacks. And I think that's a big, that's got to be the game plan for Izzy. He's got to want to stay at range. He's going to throw kicks. And Jan's plan is going to be just the opposite. He's going to want to close distance. He's going to want to pressure. He's going to want to clinch and wear him down. He's going to want to test out that takedown defense. And I think that if he can...
He probably doesn't want to let Adesanya, have the chance to even knock him out. He's going to want him down, not being able to do what he does. No, yeah. He's gonna try and keep him out of that, Izzy needs space to work to do what he does.
and people have underestimated him before. I'm a big Izzy fan. I honestly, I have Izzy picked for the win. I think that he is, I think he's a crazy talent. I think he's super smart. I think he's got a great team behind him. I think he's going to come in with, I don't know. I'm sure he's coming in with a game plan. He might surprise us all. And, I don't know. But I think it's going to be crazy to watch.
I mean, his style is freestyle, so he can...
And he
might just surprise everyone.
He does have some wrestling. He is, obviously, he's a jiu-jitsu practitioner. He's definitely newer to it. I want to say he's maybe a purple belt, brown belt.
I think I remember. I feel like I remember hearing purple.
Yeah. Maybe purple belt. So, I mean, it's not like he's a total stranger to the game. But I think that Jan is a very experienced. I don't know. I think that Jan, this was a tough call for me. And I think that Jan could absolutely pull this off. But I just got to go with Izzy. I think he's going to overwhelm him with strikes at some point.
It's his title fight.
I mean, well, Izzy has less to lose here, too. So even if Izzy loses this fight, he's still the middleweight champ. He's just trying to take a second belt.
Yeah.
But that said, he still has his undefeated.
It's still exactly. He's undefeated. He has the title, and he has a lot to. I feel like he has more to prove to himself. He thinks that people think like, oh, if I lose this, it's not a big deal. But in his head, he's like, this is still a big deal.
Oh, absolutely. Izzy doesn't want to lose any fight ever. He's definitely one of those guys that has like. He has a vision for what his legacy is going to be in the sport. So he doesn't want any blemishes on the record. But I do think that if he were unable to pull it off, I don't know. I think for all his confidence, we'll call it, I do think that he would be humble in defeat. I don't know. We may never know.
Exactly.
But
I also have Izzy picks, so...
I think if Jan is going to do this, I think that grappling is going to be where he's going to have to do it. But that said, he's got the Polish power too. If he touches him with one of those hands, catches him clean, especially early when he's feeling strong, I don't know.
Which, yeah.
It's very possible. But Izzy can take some hits. I mean, he took some serious punches from Robert Whittaker. No one's really pressed the issue too much with grappling, though. And I think because he's so tall for the middleweight division, I think that makes it hard for a lot of those guys to work that takedown game. I think that Jan is just big, and I think that he might be able to do it. We're gonna see.
I feel like you're changing your mind here.
I don't know. Like I said, it was a tough call. But I don't know. I don't know. Izzy's my guy. I'm believing in him.
Me too.
But this is not going to be a cut and dried fight, I don't think.
I know.
I think it's going to be a rough one. And I think you're going to want to be watching it.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh. All right. That's all we got for you.
Well, we got to do a recap.
Oh, yeah. Recap. All right. So, I've got picked Thiago Santos, Islam Makhachev, Petr Yan, Amanda Nunes, and Israel Adesanya for the win.
All right, and I have, can you say his name?
Alexander Rocketch.
And Islam, and Sterling the Funk Master.
Aljo.
And Amanda Nunes and Izzy.
Yeah. I think, honestly, it's a crazy card. I could see 4 out of 5 of these fights going either way, but this is where I'm leaning. So
yeah, and
we'll see.
So
it's a tough week to be predicting fights.
Out of these, who do you think is going to? What fight's going to get canceled? That seems to be a theme lately.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of good fights on the prelims too, and those could easily be one of them too. I'm excited to see Dominic Reyes. we're not covering those fights, but that's going to be one to watch. In case you don't know, I don't know if you don't know who Dominic Reyes is. I mean, get out of here. Let's see. Yeah. See you next time.